Good morning, Sam.
Good evening, Mallory.
And welcome back to Nobody Leaves, the podcast where we talk about whatever I want half of the time and whatever Sam wants the other half of the time. And this week, if you can't tell, it's about me. So today we are going to be talking about Hazbin Hotel Season 2. That's going to be a little later in the podcast, but if you want to skip ahead to that discussion, you can. But if you love us and you love me and you love Sam, you know that we're going to be dishing all about the cool things that we've been watching this week. Sam, what you been getting into this time?
I would like to start with an observation. I like that my pitches put you in a cosplay sweater vest, and your pitches put you in full body makeup. It seems like, which is fun. I never know what you're gonna do in the morning before I jump on the call, and you have outdone yourself this week as Charlie. As Angel Dust. That wasn't a dig. I swear.
Oh man.
I don't know character names. We've established this.
Yeah. That wasn't a dig. Sam's, he's getting on in years now, so it's a little hard for him to.
Well, Mallory, I gave you a little taste before we jumped in the recording here. I said, I've got a good thing for my week this week, and it's not a TV show. It's not a movie. It's not even watching anything.
Whoa.
I'd like to extend an olive branch to you because, as you know, as has been covered in this podcast, you like Pokemon. I clearly don't. I have been a huge curmudgeon over the last decade about Pokemon and its direction and how I don't like it, and I was one of those National Dex people, and I was one of those it is ugly in 3D, and I was one of those Rotom talks to me every 4.5 seconds, and that makes games bad. And so I wanted to put my money where my mouth is, right? I need to actually have an opinion. I can't just sit on the sidelines and not play the games and be like, Pokemon bad. And that smile is exactly what I wanted to see. So, what I did, because I am on the side of old game good and new game bad, is I bought a Game Boy ripoff. You thought I was playing Lasagna. No. I am playing Pokemon Sea Glass. Do you know what Pokemon Sea Glass is?
Man, I hate Mondays. I have heard of Pokemon Sea Glass. It's like a, is it an edited custom version of Emerald?
It is an edited custom version of Emerald, my favorite Pokemon.
Yay.
It is cool. So the name is actually great, right? It's Emerald Sea Glass. It is Emerald in the style of Crystal.
Oh, I see.
It is a demake. But it's also way more than that. They add Nintendo lawyers don't, shoot me with a 50 cal. Mario's knocking on the door right now.
We're joking. By the way, this is comedy.
This is all hypotheticals.
This is a parody. This is comedy. I'm dressed as a clown.
Exactly. You're Charlie Morningstar, right? Yeah, Nintendo would know it. Yeah.
I'm dressed as Charlie Morningstar, everybody.
Exactly. So hypothetically, if someone was to make a demake of Pokemon Emerald where the art style is Crystal, they'd have to make models for all the Gen 3 Pokemon in the Crystal art style, which is really cool. They'd have to make some updates, Maybe add Toggle Run, which is very appreciated. Maybe add some cool shortcuts on the map, which is very appreciated. Maybe make it so that HMs don't have to be taught to be used by Pokemon. Very appreciated. Maybe just take the best Pokemon game. What's up?
Free B-Barrel.
Free B-Barrel. Free Zigzagoon and Silcoon. Maybe just take it so that, remove some of the friction without making it piss baby easy. I am ecstatic. I have put 30 hours into this in 4 days. I've just been playing the hell out of it. It's the Emerald I remember, but with a new fresh coat of paint, which is an old coat of paint, and just enough little tweaks and cool little gameplay changes that are really, really fun, including making things slightly harder, which I like because I am an adult now, and I don't just level up my Mudkip to 100 and fight everything with one Pokemon. So I'm full of whimsy. I'm having a great time, and for basically the cost of lasagna, I learned how to download ROMs and ROM hacks. Hypothetically,
as a joke,
as
parody,
a prank. I'm gonna burn this as soon as the episode's over. Yeah, 100%.
This is social commentary about how piracy is ruining the industry, and we oppose it wholeheartedly. Sam,
you wouldn't download a Mudkip, you know?
I think that Pokemon Sea Glass is 100% going to be a pitch on this podcast because I have thought about pitching you Pokemon ROM hacks. I have never played a Pokemon ROM hack before because I obey the law and I believe in Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. But my sister is actually like really into them, and she has like told me about a bunch of them who we both know. Like she has gone on and on to me about like these different Pokemon ROM hacks you can get, and I've still never touched it, and I have been meaning to, and I'm like, if I'm gonna, I feel like this is the place to do it, is this podcast.
Let me tell you,
my fellow gamer.
I also recently accidentally deleted my entire YouTube history, just like messing around with settings. At the same time as I was researching this project, because this is like 3 weeks in the making. I had to get this shipped in from China, which is really difficult right now, just FYI, if you're in the US. This was actually, I got this device, which I'm not going to say the name of just because I feel like I'm already courting danger enough. But I got it as a test because I was thinking about getting a few of them for my siblings for Christmas. Because of tariffs, it's going to be too expensive to buy 4 of these motherfuckers. But so instead, I just got myself a gift and have bought no Christmas gifts, which is great. But
there you go.
Yeah, you know, you gotta reward yourself sometimes.
From self to self.
Bad behavior. But yeah, no. So because I was researching this as I deleted my YouTube history, my entire YouTube recommendations right now are all Pokemon. It's all Pokemon Challenge. It's all like Yawn and Small Ant and Point Crow and there's the YouTuber you like who talks about like aesthetics in Pokemon and like Pokemon outfits. I can't remember her name.
Oh, Fawn, is it the who will do like the tier ranking of like the girly pop tier ranking?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm getting it all. Diva, yes. Like YouTube thinks I'm like 12 years old or 45, one or the other.
Yeah, no, definitely. That is devastating though, honestly. I was watching a video about I've been watching like Hank Green videos recently, and he's talking about like, you know, the comparative like relative insidiousness of like different algorithms, and I'm like, YouTube is like the one website I use the algorithm on. I don't use the algorithm on Instagram. I only look at stuff that like people that I know follow, like people that I actually know in real life, stuff that people send me, which I think is from the algorithm, or just like stuff that I specifically searched up from a specific person or creator. But YouTube is the one that I like actually engage with the algorithm and like look at the recommended. And I have forged that over like 17 years, and I feel like it has gotten to a point where it's always reviving interests of mine that I used to be fixated on and forgot about. It'll just like chuck me a couple videos, and I'm like, I kind of like it. I know it's bad, but I do like it. I would be pretty devastated if I lost my whole YouTube history at this point.
It is sad, but it is still like immediately building back from what my subscriptions are. So
I see.
This is also like fitting into how YouTube has changed their algorithm recently. I'm getting recommended a lot of stuff that's like, hey, you want this 12-year-old video from whoever, right? I'm getting a lot of like, you want this Stone Cold classic that this person dropped 10 years ago.
Yes.
Which is fun. I'm also getting my old videos, which is weird. So I get to see what YouTube is feeding to Tracking Shot subscribers, which is fun, I guess.
Yeah.
That's nice. I could use money, so I would like that YouTube is pushing it to people.
Yeah.
It is a little sad. I did it, and I was like, surely that's not everything, right? Oh, no, it is. I deleted everything. Oh, wow, that's all gone. like
That's
20
crazy.
years of using YouTube. Not 20, but 15. It's up there.
You'd think they would make it like really hard to delete because they want to keep
They
that
did. I'm an
like
idiot. I thought
desperately.
like I was clicking through and it was like, would you like to delete all YouTube history? And I was like, let me click this through and see what it says next. And what it said next was, you did it. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't know what I expected.
I see. Gotcha. Well, Pokemon Sea Glass, you're having a good time?
So I've replaced all algorithms except for YouTube as well. Like I've gotten rid of Reddit and Blue Sky recently just to like on it too much. I was crashing out about
Detox.
politics as we all are one to do from time to time.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I need to take a little bit of a step back and just read the news and not read everyone freaking out about the news like I am. And like, I have not replaced it with being more productive or doing things like I wanted to replace it with, like video making and reading and stuff. I have replaced it with Pokemon. So it's kind of it's a wholesome win, but not exactly what I intended. So, I'm having a great
That's
time.
like reading a book now for us. That's like
I know. I've been like grinning ear to ear, like on my couch, like this device's music like full blast, and it's just like, yeah. Don't
that's
look outside.
awesome. Yeah, as the world like burns around us.
A little bit.
Well, Sam, I've been spending pretty much all week just watching Hazbin Hotel sing-alongs as they've been drip feeding as each
Never heard
episode
of
comes out. Listening to them on iTunes. But I did have one brief break and brief respite from my Hazbin Hotel consumption, and that is that I watched the newest episode of Pluribus, episode 4. So this is the follow-up to our previous week. This is so weird because I'm going to be giving like weekly updates that are 2 weeks late every week on the show.
This is a strange reversal. I was too busy playing Pokemon and watching Hazbin Hotel to watch critically acclaimed already Pluribus, which is I promise I care about it and is my obsession, but I have not seen episode 4 yet. But broad takes, did you like it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? What will Carol do next? Will she get another grenade? Will she injure someone she is maybe falling for?
Carol, I think that this show is very smart. I think it's a little hard watching it week to week. It's a show that I want to binge because I think that they're being very intentional with like the ordering of things. Without spoiling too much, they've done some stuff to be clever, some clever devices to give more of like Carol's inner thoughts for like and like emotions in a way that we were kind of guessing at, in the first 3 episodes, because pretty much the only time she's ever talking, like Pluribus is in the room. So it's hard to really like intuit like, okay, what are the things that she would not want to say around Pluribus? Like, what does she actually think about it? What is she holding back? Came with some clever devices to get a little bit more of her thoughts. And I was like, it was extremely rewarding. Like, it's rewarding you for paying attention. And it's like, okay, I could intuit most of that. It's really nice to hear it confirmed out loud and like learn maybe even a little bit more. That kind of stuff is really good.
Where you at with Carol the character? Because I've seen a lot of scuttlebutt, even though I deleted all my social media, it still somehow gets to me. I've seen a lot of like, oh, I find this character annoying, and it's hard to pierce like, is that female protagonist problem of just people, some certain subsects of the internet just go crazy whenever that's the case? Is it, I don't like character that's mean, or I don't like character that's flawed, which I also find depressing because flawed characters are super interesting, and I think Carol's a cool perspective. Or is it legitimate problems like maybe the Carol story is going a little too slow? Where do you come down on it? Are you the juror number 3 who hates women characters leading shows, or are you like the juror number 10 who's like, maybe I can have a nuanced opinion without the woes of the internet to interrupt it?
I'm whichever juror, like, like lets his wife drive the car and stays home with the kids. I'm like,
In the 50s,
I think
so
that
progressive.
exactly. I think that it. I would hope that this episode, like, in showing some of her internal thoughts and giving us a little bit more explicit backstory, I feel like it hopefully would contribute to a little bit of people, like, lowering their guard and being like, okay, this is a person and we're seeing like three dimensions, and this isn't like, I, it's tough because I think that she does, like, there is an eternal problem of like female characters in general, and especially female protagonists, are going to be judged more harshly. They're going to be judged more critically. Also, things like you mentioned, like the mean thing, like we know that women are like generally, because women are generally expected to be more caring and more empathetic and that kind of thing when they like act the way that your average kind of like ungrateful husband would towards their wife.
Moody, alcoholic, like main guy protagonist is like cool, cynical, mysterious, tells it as it is. Mean, cynical, like wife protagonist is like, why is she being a bitch all the time? And there's an interesting history of that.
It's like maybe she's a bitch. Shows. It's fine.
Yeah.
But I think that it does have, like, she does have a couple extra things going against her, unfortunately, which are like, one, like, like not having characters that she trusts to really bounce off of, to where we can really see the good side of her.
I'm excited to see what you're talking about with episode 4, because like it's such a writer's challenge, and it like fires me up from like a creative side of things of like, how are they gonna they wrote themselves into this box immediately, like how are they gonna solve that, but also just from a like, I would like to know more about Carol at this point. I think there is some legitimate criticism that by like episode 3 it's like, okay, I know Carol's an alcoholic, and I know that Carol's very sad about the passing of her wife, and beyond that I don't really know what's going on or where we're going. I'm fine with that. I like a slow burn, but I can understand that criticism beyond the, why is woman mean?
Yeah, no, totally. And again, I think that is like exacerbated a little bit by the week to week where, we kind of expect updates and progressions each week. I will say, I think the other thing this episode does is like, it continues to progress the plot where I'm like, okay, this feels like the layman putting themselves in Carol's shoe, like, what would you do if Pluribus, like, like she's doing kind of some of the things. So I'm like, okay, like, hopefully this is swinging in direction. But yeah, like, even as I said, I'm like, we're getting like a little bit of backstory, a little bit of her internal thoughts. It's still like little trickles of stuff, but it feels like torrential because we get nothing from her overall in the series. So I don't know, it's to me it's satisfying and fun, but I can understand some impatience. But yeah, like, just be careful, because not speaking to you, obviously speaking to the angry Redditors, just be careful, because there are biases. You might be right, but are you going a little hard on it? Would you give more charitability to
and it has like this conversation has evolved over time, right? Between the Breaking Bad of the world, where it's like, why is Skylar White mean? Why doesn't she just let her husband sell drugs? To like Better Call Saul, where the character that the same actress played in that show, Kim Wexler, is like way more of an active character in that show, and is like the number 2 lead, and at times the number 1 lead, and that's really fun. Just an unbelievable character that was just like one of my favorite TV show characters ever, into Pluribus, where now she's in the driver's seat for everything, and she is the Bob Odenkirk or the Bryan Cranston, and that's fun. I didn't expect an in-depth Pluribus conversation on this episode, but I'm thrilled about it. I am super excited to jump into episode 4, and it will come up again on this podcast, I assume.
The other thing is that my Tumblr has basically become a Carol Exosia blog almost exclusively. It's pretty bad. So,
ladies and gentlemen,
I don't know.
and non-binaries, we got her.
expect a video of Pluribus probably
Hell yeah.
pretty soon.
You
I'm
and I are gonna have
trying to
dueling-
release it.
Dueling YouTube edit videos.
Whoever does better wins. Whoever does better, whoever does worse gets Pluribus. And
There you go.
and now exists to like give ChatGPT answers to the other. Yeah.
Yes, you
but-
should go worship a rock in the desert. You're doing great.
Definitely. Sam, we've had enough of this. It's time to, if there's one thing I can guarantee you, it's that we're about to have a very fun discussion. And even though we're both, getting on up there in years, we're far from has-beens. So let's go to the hotel. This is so long. I wish
I'll
I
allow
could
it.
stop. Okay. It wasn't that bad, but
I
I
wish
just
I
kept
could
going.
stop. We're only 20 minutes in. Let's just end the podcast here.
I'll allow it.
A transition must be minimum 45 seconds long to be
That's
ineffective, like is our style. It's in like our it's in our house style, like our style guide for this podcast.
It's like the AP style guide.
Yep. I have two of those behind me.
The NLP style guide. It's transition must be long enough so that we see, audience retention must drop below
By at
like
least
20%.
And also, we don't use the Oxford comma. Deal with it.
How did you get here, demon?
Sam, this week we watched Hazbin Hotel Season 2, the second season of Hazbin Hotel. We've already watched the first season on this podcast and discussed it, which you can find in our other episode, whatever. But no one wants to hear about that old news. Hazbin Hotel Season 2 is out. Sam, what do you think about this amazing show that we've both watched together?
I love Hazbin Hotel, Mallory. I love it. No. I've also been watching Smiling Friends. I forgot to bring that up.
Oh, wow.
We'll get into that some other time.
Yeah.
Hazbin Hotel Season 2, right? It was interesting going in with this being a known quantity compared to when I went to the first season, and I was like, is this a Mallory pitch that she knows I'm gonna hate, or is this a Mallory pitch that's like from the heart,
Right.
And I found it to be more of the same, which is both good and a bit of a problem. I found it to have some improvements. Particularly, I thought that the dialogue felt a lot more natural. I know a lot of people were very vocal about season 1 and about the fuckity fuck style of
Yeah, I mean, that was
dialogue.
the meme, basically,
Yeah, and
about season 1.
It at times it rubbed against me watching season 1, but I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I felt them reeling it back in season 2 in a way that I thought was like, okay, they're responding. This creative team is responding to criticism and also trying to move things forward. I have some issues that we'll get into. I think I ultimately like the first season more, but I'm very curious to see where you landed on this as much more of a Hellverse fan. Hellaverse?
You gotta have the in there, I think. I feel like
Hellaverse?
Hellaverse. Hello. This is me doing my vocal warms. Hellaverse.
Sorry, the
Penny,
cat
what do
has
you
been
think?
Just all over me this entire episode, which is fine.
All right, so Sam, while you're taking care of Penny, I'm gonna go ahead and say my opinion, which is I love season 2. I loved it a lot more than season 1. I think it stands on season 1 like it couldn't exist. Season 1 was clunky in its pacing and had so many ideas crammed into it that it was kind of hard to stay afloat and keep track of certain things for me, and was very overwhelming. Season 2 did everything that I hoped, which was basically okay, here are the focus characters, here's one arc of a story, here's who it we have these major beloved characters like Angel Dust, who I'm dressed as, who I reconsidered cosplaying as, but I'd already prepared this cosplay, so I had to move forward, But they took beloved characters like Angel Dust and were let's turn down the heat a little. He's gonna have his moments and everything. He's one of the central characters, but he's not. For him to have a huge emotional arc is to take up so much emotional breathing room for this series. It's like, no, like we're gonna dial it back. We're gonna focus on Vox. We're gonna take characters like Alistair, who like that was my biggest flip from season 1. Alistair, who I did not like and thought was kind of edgy and cringy. I now really like Alistair. That was the biggest redemption for me.
It's a less is more situation, right? Where it's like, okay, Alistair's gonna be on the back foot for the entire season and just be like making little comments, and because of that, you want to see him more. Whereas season 1, somehow you saw everyone all the time at like in an overwhelming sense. I agree with you there. It is what I complained about in the first season, was that it felt very unfocused, and I didn't know, like, why are we introducing a council of overlords just for like a 30-second bit to then jump into this, to then jump into that? Why are we spending time with the Voxes? What's about the hotel? This and that. I don't even know these characters. Season 2 is definitely more focused. I just wish it had focused on different characters. I'm not big into the V's. I find them very one note, and I feel like not only are there like 5 Vox songs that are all one, like the same, but it's also like, see, I'm gonna do the thing where my complaint turned into, I got what I wanted and I'm unhappy. Welcome to podcasting. Picking an overlord and having them be the villain, good idea and concept, right? Hey, let's narrow the focus and let's like really make it a character study. Like, how does everyone react to this person, this media mogul? The problem is they all act the same as they did in season 1, because he was already in season 1 a lot. And so, oh, Charlie cares about her image and is easily flustered and embarrassed. Wow, we did that in the pilot 10 years ago.
Yeah. It is weird. It's like, I think that's why people, like with Charlie's character arc, like why people are kind of like his regrets. To me, the way I look at her character arc is that she never really addressed or got over those problems, and that's why I kind of didn't like. It made sense in the pilot as like, this is kind of an establishing scene for this character to show how, and it's establishing the world. It's like, okay, you're like the one. Charlie's like the one commenter in like a comment section in like 4chan, basically being like, guys, we need to be nice to each other, and just everyone is like clowning, like immediately like doxing her and screenshotting everything she does and like putting it, you know, it's like it I think that scene makes sense in the pilot because it's like we're establishing kind of the tone of the series and like why Charlie is a compelling character. But yeah, it's like to tell the overarching story, it's like she never really like faced that problem down and like learned the lesson of like, I shouldn't worry so much about like what people think. And it's not really, I think, until this season. And then even then, like something I was thinking about is like, what was kind of, did she kind of like learn her lesson and have her character arc? And she does, but it's like, I think the final punch, like if I'm taking away the message that it basically is, it's like, because Charlie and Vox are very much like parallels in the season, and it's really, it's like set up very explicitly from the beginning. It's like Charlie is recruiting people to the hotel for their betterment. Vox is recruiting people to his corporation to exploit them, right? Like his or whatever, not with their best interests in mind. And it's just kind of truth and lies type of dynamic, and then the rest of the season is like ways that they're similar, ways that they're different. And it's like, I feel like the final message was that Charlie and Emily save people while Vox is actively killing them because he doesn't care about them. And it's like the kind of like actions speak louder than words thing. And that makes sense to me, but I don't know if it. And I wouldn't want a scene where it's like Charlie's like, oh, my actions spoke louder than words. But at the same time, I think it was maybe a little too hard to like, I had to think about it to kind of get there a little bit. So I don't know if that was the same for you.
So there is the, like, in terms of the parallel, right? It's like, yeah, Vox is pushing away the other Vs. Charlie at first is pushing away her friends and then is pulling them back together, but also not really, because she doesn't really have a conversation with Angel or Husk or, like, there's the makeup sex with Vaggie song, and that's about it. Like, she doesn't talk with Alistair really at all either. Like, she or her dad, like, all of that happens either off screen or can't happen because of where characters are on the board at that point. So if that's what they're going for, I don't think it works that well, because then Emily is more of the focus, and Emily is a character that's, for plot reasons, mostly away from the cast for the entire season. I like their friendship. I think it's very endearing. I like that Charlie and her are like the two at the center of the big "Let's stop the exploding machine" at the end, like, song. I think that's great.
Yeah,
because they, lift, their sisterhood, or they're lifting each other up, is like very wholesome. I think the message I took away was faith, which is, makes sense for the setting, but it's essentially like they're trying to show Serpentis the entire season. And because the characters have plot brain, or the opposite of plot brain, they can't just go, like, film him and then come back, right? So it's forcing an idea of, like, the people of hell have to believe in Charlie without proof, right? That seems to be the idea, and so it's like you have to have faith in this person and what they're telling you, because she can't, no matter what she does, she can't show off that Serpentis has actually been redeemed. She has to get people to trust her, and she does that with her actions, like with Emily and her saving people in the final episode.
Yeah.
I think that gets a little annoying, because there's like 18 different ways that they could have shown that Serpentis was alive, because they have allies in heaven, and even their enemies in heaven, other than Lute, are like super, super easy to sway onto their side. So it's a little bit of like, why did we need this conflict to begin with? Like, I don't think Vox is very effective as a villain in terms of, like, playing off the people, because it's more so that the heroes are stupid more than the villains are successfully cunning. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I can see, because immediately my mind jumped to, like, well, the whole thing was they put, like, a barrier around heaven, but it's the scene that happens, like, after Vox Populi, where the angels actually all come down,
right?
Where they don't do the smartest thing, which is
bring Serpentis.
Yeah, I think there might be some, like, rule about. I feel like it's made up, though, but it's like I feel
it feels
like
made up for this season,
in my head,
and not within the rules of the first season, right? Because Charlie was walking around heaven, right? Like, so that's
but I think Charlie is, like, hellborn versus, like, there's kind of like a different classification of, like, these angels that are, like, beings of, so, like, Lucifer and Charlie versus like the mortals are kind of like, in some way it seems like restricted to their little zones. So, like, Serpentis can't be brought back, but, like, that also seems made up, because, like, Adam and Abel were humans at one point, it seems like, right. So it's like I don't know, but
they're more powerful because he's the first man or what have you. If that is the case, they still blow the doors off of heaven in the final episode, and it's like, why can Serpentis not walk through at that point? Like, it seems like the barrier's gone, right? It seems a bit contrived, or if there are rules, the rules feel a little poorly explained, which is fine. It's doing a lot. The show's doing a lot. And again, I think it is trying to thematically, like, say that it's more important for Charlie to, like, win the hearts and minds of hell than to have definitive proof that would solve everything, right?
Or, like, do the work rather than focus so much on the image, I guess. That's maybe the way that I take things in general, but yeah.
Right, because the show's saying images doesn't matter, and, like, Charlie, you're over fixating on what people think about you. But it's also saying, instead of having this, like, concrete, like, logical way to solve things, and listen, people try and bring logic into cartoons way too often. I'm doing it right now. I understand that's stupid. I understand that, like, shows need conflict. But there is that feeling in this season to me of, like, some stuff feels really contrived, and I couldn't get around it. In particular because I found Vox to be very one note, and also just, like, the worst manipulator ever. Like he's like his whole thing is manipulating and climbing the ladder, but like every speech he has, he's like, I'm evil and I'm gonna kill you. I'm kidding. Like it's like it's too he's too much.
This is probably going to be the biggest part where we
differ. Okay.
I love Fox, and I love I love all 15 of his songs. I love all 30 of the songs that he
You could make
has.
an album and it'd all be one track.
You could, like cut it to make a video like Hazbin Hotel Season 2 songs, but only when Vox is singing. And it's like it is 30 minutes long. It is, and it's 30 glorious minutes.
It's also
okay,
30
Sam,
minutes of recap for the most part. Like it's a lot of like, hey, remember when we fought the Angels in the finale of season 1? There's like 5 songs that are that, which is like, you killed the Angels, you killed the Angels, you killed the yeah, a little bit.
Which ones?
In terms of like Vox selling hell on like Resist and all that, it's a lot of recap in a way that I thought wasn't like odd. Like the only time I learned new information with Vox was his backstory song, and that's maybe it. Like it's a lot of people arguing the same point over and over of like, we should fight heaven, we shouldn't fight heaven.
I guess so. Well, because like I guess it's because he's singing to different people,
right?
So
he's trying
to
to
me,
win
it's
over...
like it's not about. It's about the people and the relationship to it. Like the first one is to the other V's, and you're learning about like their dynamic. The other 2 of them are content to be just like, you know, overlords or media moguls or whatever in their little corner of hell, and he's trying to sell them on like a stupid idea. That's the that's the other thing that is really funny about it, is that it's like it's so obviously stupid, and he's a season 2 villain. It's like he's not gonna win, but he's really, so it's like how does this guy with a bad idea, who's like obviously a villain, who lies to everyone, who's a bad person, how does he get to the top? So it's like, to me, like that's the information that's getting communicated in that song. Then there's the other song that like it's not that good, but it's him singing to the overlords, right? It's like him like it's kind of like a precursor intro to the episode song, like the Bad With Us song. And then you get Fox Populi, which I adore, which is like, you know, Lucifer starts like coming in with his sing. And to me, like I wasn't really bothered by like the Serpentius not being able to like prove his existence plot point. I was a little, and I wasn't really bothered by Charlie, because everything that she did that was like stupid was like, I'm like, well, this is all in line with her character flaws that weren't solved at all. I wasn't bothered. I know a lot of people were. I know a lot of people were really bothered with it, but like to me, it's like her. She doesn't really learn boundaries. Like she learns like, okay, don't mess around with like Angel's like abusive like boss who owns his soul,
right?
But she doesn't that's not an episode about her. I don't think she really like takes away as much, and it is like I think it's like the way that a lot of like boundary stuff works. I feel like in real life as well, it's like you have these like principles you want to hold on to, but then it's like, what do you want the most? And Charlie has this thing that she wants more than anything, that sometimes like she's kind of taking advantage of, not kind of, she is like taking advantage of Angel Dust to like get to, in a way.
I was fine with all that.
I'm getting on a tangent, but yeah.
Well, I like that they deepened the Charlie thing by making it like concretely clear that it is all about the approval of one person, which is Lilith, right? I think it's kind of disappointing that Lilith isn't in the entire season after being the season 1 teaser, but that's fine. They're going for a bigger, longer story. That's
something, by the way, the creator did explicitly say, like, we like there's an interview I watched with her. She's like, her two biggest regrets with season 1. She's like, one was the pacing. I was like, okay, preach queen. Like you know, you understand. And she's like, we were just trying to cram everything in because I didn't know if I was going to get season 2. And the other one she said was Lilith, because it's like after they already made that, then they got renewed for seasons 3 and 4, and they're like, okay, we're not going to put Lilith in season 2 in that case, so it's
Right.
like, yeah, but yeah, obviously it's unfortunate for people who would have expected that, yeah. But yeah,
with
sorry,
it being the teaser of
interrupting
season
you.
1, you expect her to be involved at all in season 2, and
Right.
she really isn't.
Of course.
And it's interesting. Like, I want to know what is the deal she made with Sarah, and like, what does that have to do? Like, the politics of hell or heaven remain interesting to me, but were not that explored as much as I expected. Like, they seem to be incompetent, which I didn't expect. Which it can be fun, but they're so incompetent that it's like, okay, like, what are we even fighting for here? Like, it feels like heaven would lose in a second if they actually like invaded, which is a reversal of the first season, and does like speak to the absence of Adam and this and that. And I think the loot in the background, like crashing out, is very fun. It's a fun aspect of season 2. I think her character design is just really cool. It feels very the goth one in the squad of like cartoons in the 2000s. Like, she's very like Raven coded, or
Definitely. She has this hair. Like, this,
Yeah.
this is, I should have been Lou. I don't know what I'm doing.
and I think her song. I like the songs that are longer in this season, because I feel like all the snappy, really quick songs just kind of washed over me, and I didn't really take in much from them. I think Gravity is really
Yeah.
good. I think it's a high point of the season in terms of like,
Absolutely.
we're really going to explore this character for a moment, and not just have like a song that gets a sequel or a trilogy of songs.
But yeah, sorry. The point I was making was where I was talking about Vox Populi and like why I like it, because
Yeah.
the point and the reason why I brought up like the plot lines that I was like the levels of satisfaction with them. The only one that like really bothered me for some reason is like Vaggie telling Lucifer to like just bully Vox into
Right.
like just like go shut him up or whatever, and Lucifer's like, I'm unable to like harm him or whatever, which I think is like Bible lore and like makes it was ultimately like illuminating about his character, but I think like watching it the first time I was just kind of like, okay, so this seems like a bad plan. I don't know why Vaggie would like do that to me was the biggest plot brain of for me personally.
It's plot brain. To me, Charlie's reaction to that is even more annoying, where like her and Vaggie's fight feels so much more
Yeah.
contrived than season 1.
I don't like the thing that I don't like about the fight is that it in season 1 they had a fight for a more justified reason, and it felt like they handled it in a mature way, which was like, they just kind of take some space from each other and vent their frustrations to different people. And it's like in this one they're having a fight over something that's kind of like, it makes sense because like Charlie's like problem is that she's getting like way too over focused on her image or whatever.
Right.
But like I hate when couples in like TV shows like resort to like, well, you can tell Vaggie that, first of all, it's like a overused joke, but it's also like, I hate when it's like, okay, now the couple's being extremely mean to each other, and that makes me kind of like it lessens my investment in their relationship a little bit,
It
because
feels
I'm
out
like,
of
okay,
character
like
for
when
the
you,
characters as well.
yeah, it doesn't feel like exactly, because we'd established them. I felt like as a little bit more of a mature, safe couple. I don't know. I didn't feel like they needed to go to that extreme,
Or at least you
and
expect
then
them to be
having
that
fight.
way
Yeah.
after what they go through in season 1, right? Like, after hiding the fact that she's an angel and they can get over that,
Yeah.
can they really not get over that Vaggie had a plan that failed and that Charlie had a plan that fails? All their plans fail. Like, what does it matter?
What if they ever succeeded? No, you're totally right. But yeah, the point of that is, I didn't initially like Vox Populi because I was like, why is Lucifer doing this? This is silly. It's a really good song, and I'm starting to. I think the thing about Hazbin Hotel, I think it is just better experienced by just like listening to all the songs in a row.
Embrace the musical
getting the story
aspect of
that
it.
way.
No, for sure. Listen,
Just drop the dialogue.
I'm bringing
drop
plot
the
brain
plot.
to musicals, which musicals generally kind of yada yada that in terms of emotions. And
Right.
character. Like, it's character writing versus mechanics writing, right? And I can appreciate the perspective of like, don't over focus on plot. That's stupid. It felt more so than season 1. It felt like a lot of stuff felt contrived in a way that was It's harder to write a season when you've established a world, right? Like, you can't break the rules you've made and not have it feel like rub against certain people in your audience, like people like myself. That being said, I don't have my heart's not made of stone. When they all come together at the end and are singing, you put a chorus together where all the voices rise at once, and I can feel a little emotional. I can be like, hear our hope, kind of a weird lyric, but like, this is pretty good. It all begins with one note, okay. I'm not immune to the like crescendo of this season, and I think by the time you get to the finale, it feels like things are moving again, and we're all on the same vibe or whatever. But I don't like the feeling of waiting around for 6 episodes just to do the finale, which is kind of the feeling I get with this season. I feel like it's very repetitive. A lot of the characters have plot brain or like anti-plot brain so that the plot can exist. And like Sarah feels the same, for instance, from like episode 2 to episode 6. Like, her conflict doesn't change and she just kind of gets over it. I like that how she gets over it with Serpentius and like, you just need a friend, and him using the lessons of Charlie. There's cool stuff there, but it was a little too late for me. I think you mentioned Vox being like the most obvious season 2 villain ever, and it's like, clearly he's not going to win. I would love to have seen a season where he loses by like episode 5, and then the real threat reveals itself, whether that's Alistair or Lilith or what have you. Like, I would love like a rug pull where it's like, I feel like a better version of this show would be like, you thought Vox was going to be the villain the whole season? What are you, stupid? Like, obviously he's going to lose. Here's the real problem, and have that like second season in a trilogy or what. I know it's going to be 4 seasons, but like that Empire Strikes Back, like the heroes are on the back foot at the end of the season feeling.
Right.
That book 2 of Avatar feeling, for instance, right?
Yeah. I think though, like, it's really because they're ending on like a high point, except for Angel Dust, which like it feels like season 3. Like I there's been scuttlebutt that Angel Dust is going to be very focal in season 3, and it makes sense.
That is the setup, right? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but it's like there's been discussion, and I think I mentioned this in the previous episode. The thing that made me the most like trepidatious about Hazbin Hotel that I heard was hearing like Vivzy Pop, the creators, say that it like season 4 wasn't going to be the end. I was like, that's too many seasons. But I've since heard she's like, it's a 5-season show. There are 5 seasons. I'm like, okay, at least you have a number. That's fair. That is fair. Yeah.
Every
So
TV
to
show
me,
needs
it's
to
like
learn that number by season 2.
Yeah.
It feels like, to be successful.
I think so. And this feels like we're maybe a little closer to like book 1 of Avatar. Also, it's like, we're ending kind of in a positive place because there's clearly some. I think the thing I was like least satisfied about, like, speaking of Sarah, was like the handling of the whole kind of Heaven thing. I think in season 1, Heaven felt a lot more snooty and antagonistic, and I think that season 2 Heaven, I didn't like Sarah's like singing about the genocide, being like, oh no, how am I gonna make it up to them? Like, that's crazy, girl. I don't know.
How am I going to make it up to him? But I'm gonna actively like lead things to war for like 6 episodes, and then be like, oh, I've been being stupid at the very end. It's like, okay.
I think to me she needed to be more of a like, if she's really like the general and like had any kind of decision making. It seems as though she is the one that had like decision making power over that. Like, from everything I'm getting, although the politics are still kind of mysterious, I don't really 100% know. But it's like I needed her to be a little bit more of a tough nut to crack that like doesn't get cracked until we have a season that's like really focused on Heaven. Right. So for a season where Heaven is going to be inevitably in the background because this is about like, the redeem people in hell struggling against the like
who's the strongest sinner in
war
hell,
people
right?
in hell.
Yeah.
Who's going to be the strongest sinner in hell?
Why'd that make you laugh so much?
Don't make fun of the show by stating sentences that are said in the show verbatim with
I like
zero
that plot line.
inflection.
Listen, there's
Okay,
nothing
cool.
more satisfying than like I found a loophole in a contract. Like I like Heaven or Hazbin Hotel Shoots edition. Like it's fun, but
We got to get to the Alistair conversation, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Heaven conversation is like, for it being the backbone, it's like I kind of wanted Sarah. I think a better role with her would have been to be like, I'm being strict. I put up the barrier. We maybe don't get a whole lot of songs that really explore my internal world and everything. Like maybe we skip the episode 3 song, so then and like you can maybe keep the Serpentia song, but it's like now it's a reveal that she feels guilty in like episode 6.
Knowing
you know
that
what I
she
mean?
feels guilty from like minute 1, and also knowing that she was the person it seems like that was causing the problems of the 7-year war, what have you. Like it really like flattens the Heaven storyline where it's like, and now maybe there's still hints at bigger machinations, like the fact that they made a deal with Lilith and that she's up there. The fact that the voice of God, Angel, feels very menacing and creepy. And I'm sure there's going to be like things with that, like what actually is God in this world. Like there's meat on that bone, but not in this season, which is fine.
Yeah, and it was never going to be in the season. So yeah, that's why I'm like, I do kind of wish she had more of a background. Even that, like, and it's hard because it's like she's a really good singer, so I kind of understand where but it's like you can't give in to her beautiful voice, her siren song. You have to shut her out of season 2.
There were multiple times where I could feel like, well, we got to have a song for this character because they're a really good singer. I think Abel is like that. Where Abel has a big moment in the final song. Go ahead.
Sam, do you know who the voice for Abel is? Guess who you think the voice for Abel is.
I'm assuming a famous Broadway actor that everyone loves.
No. Think of how he... No theme, he no her na honey now. Is it
like My Chemical Romance guy? Like, who is it?
Fall Out Boy, the lead singer of Fall Out Boy. They got the guy from Fall Out Boy to voice a little wimpy guy who's like, what? He's like, what's gonna happen down there? It's good because I didn't even clock that he was like a singer or anything until he suddenly sings to the final song, and it was, to me, that landed as a comedy moment. You know what I mean? Like I was not taking it as emotional.
Like I like him.
Yeah,
I like the visual of him in his father's shadow, but like filling it in the silhouette with Lute looking up and Lute like Lute's mini character arc in the background. The whole season is trying to find someone to uphold revenge, basically, and like trying to find someone to lead her because she seems like she's indecisive, but she's but not with her convictions, right? There's some solid B plots in this season. I just wish that all of the B plots were that solid, right? And not as repetitive, like not rehashing season 1 stuff. Like I feel like there are characters that have stuff to do in this season and places to go and interesting ideas. Lute falls into that, I think. Sarah falls into that but doesn't quite get there. And then there are characters that are really sidelined, like Vaggie, Charlie to an extent. Good B plots. Alistair. You want to talk about Alistair? Can we talk about Alistair? Let's talk about Alistair.
Oh my god. Sam, my 2 favorite serial killers in fiction is one of them, and you'll know them from the line, is like there's that beeping sound again. Don't you hear it? He's like, "Newsflash, asshole! I've been hearing it the whole time. Why didn't you say anything? Because I hate you."
Did we just reference Always Sunny twice in 30 seconds? Hell yeah.
that and my favorite episode, my favorite line of the whole thing, which is just like, "You're always doing that, and I hate it." It's so good.
Watching him like eye twitch his way through half the season, very fun. Putting him on the back foot, but you know he's plotting something, but you don't quite know how it works. Very fun. The wordplay of like lay your hands on the shoulder and this and that. The reveal that it's all contracts on top of contracts on top of contracts. All really cool and all given exactly as much time as it needs for the season because it leaves you wanting more. Which is something I definitely didn't feel in season 1. So I'm happy. good. There's good stuff. There's good stuff here. I've been very negative Nancy this whole podcast, but like season 2's got some stuff, you know.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I think, to me, the thing that really flipped, like, this is what I wanted to talk with Alistair. I didn't like him in season 1 because he felt very, like, I have the most power of everyone, and I'm so cool. And I was like, all right, okay, man.
Yeah, but then you
all
see
right,
him shirtless with a scar with weird, like,
yes,
stitching.
You see him, like his stitches getting pulled out, and he's just getting kicked around and tied to a chair and dragged through. To me, I think that My Pet song, like just you know, disrespecting him openly, and like the way that this character who always has to have a smile, they just draw him being like so resentful. Like, I think that is just so. It like him being powerless and being so angry and petty and desperate to get back in power and desperate to be in control, his character finally clicked for me. It's like, okay, this is not like someone who you should aspire to. Like, I was kind of thinking people were watching and being like, yeah, this is like me because I'm really dark and everyone underestimates me all the time. It's like, no,
he
this
no
is a character
has
who
the invulnerability of a 13-year-old in an anime playing a video game.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
You know, he's no longer like, I'm just the best at everything no matter what. Like, he truly is just another person trying to manipulate himself around, but he is good at it, and it is satisfying to watch, and it is fun to watch a character that actually seems capable of making plans in centuries, not fleeting moments, right? Not whimsy.
Yeah.
Or not whims.
You also... the thing that I also really loved is like his depiction as a serial killer, because I'm like a little bit sensitive of like serial killer depictions and glorifying and that kind of stuff.
Right.
Watch us talk about what happens next. But I think that like he is kind of fitting the like unrealistic serial killer type. Well, I would say both of them are pretty unrealistic serial killers. But I think that he is kind of fitting the general archetype of a real life serial killer. Like, they're typically killing people who are from marginalized groups because the police won't care about them. Like, there's a reason why you're going after like sex workers and like, you know, discreet gay men or whatever. Like, these are like your kind of classic victim profile. But like,
your
is
Ted
like,
Bundy archetype, essentially.
Right, exactly. Like, but you know, he's doing something that is not commonly seen by real life serial killers, which is like hearing the character was inspired by Dexter. I was kind of like, yeah, you know, because it's like, you know, he's killing people who are more powerful than him, who are like rich, wealthy socialites who look down on him. But in a way, the story kind of works because he gets like taken out pretty quickly, even though it's just like happenstance. But there's some stuff there. There's some metaphors of like the hunter being hunted, cannibalism. But I think that it worked for me because it's like, I understand this character now as like, this is a serial killer MO. Is like it's all communicated from the wine. A wealthy guy spills a wine glass on him and doesn't care. Right. And he feels so slighted by that.
It's
that
petty all the way down.
He has to kill and eat this guy. And with Vox, it's like you go back and you rewatch the scene of like young Vox talking to him, and he puts his hand on his shoulder, and you just see this like, as like he's like, okay, I have to dedicate my life to taking down your whole career because you're always touching my shoulder, and I don't like that.
Right.
You know, it's like
him. Yeah, him calling it out as annoying at the end with the Charlie bit and like the contract breaking. That is fun. Like him being someone,
and it's satisfying because he held on to that and you didn't know that.
Those things. Yeah.
Part of the reason I love it so much is that it's a reveal. Like, we didn't know, and we really don't have any foreshadowing because he always smiles, so it's really hard to detect like minor facial expressions of annoyance and like assume that it came from the touch, right? It's like new information. And it's also just so illuminating about the character of like, he just cannot let go of these like little things. And then this is a thing that, because we were talking about like not being super invested in the like Alistair Lucifer rivalry, right? Which is like, you know, it gets brought up again in this season.
I'm gonna break your heart, Mallory. I'm not that invested in the Vox Alistair rivalry either, but go ahead.
Yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah. But like, this is like, I did not care about it. And then this season made me care about it, but I understand. But, yeah, the Alistair Lucifer rivalry, it's like, okay, like the type of person that Alistair doesn't like, his victim profile is like superior, more powerful, looks down on others around them, looks down on him specifically, makes minor slights or like kind of microaggressions against him. And it's like, oh, like he's and now he's unleashed. It's like,
Right.
oh, why would he not try and kill Lucifer? You know, like give this guy free reign of the place. What's the first thing he's gonna do? He's like, well, I gotta kill Lucifer, or harm him or whatever. And I feel like he's just set up. We're so ready for this character to be actually in direct conflict with Charlie rather than like conveniently helping her out at every step of the way. I like Kaiki Deshu, is a comparative character I get in terms of like where they sit on the protagonist to antagonist scale while also being like evil and self-serving. I feel like it's a apt comparison that one other person in this world will understand, and that's you, Sam. But there you go. Anyway, do we want to talk about the real life versions of people, the backstories?
Well, I think it's a really smart device that it seems like redemption ties into having to absolve yourself of the sins you committed as a human, right? Because it just means that, like, as they continue to try and redeem characters, we're going to continue to explore their life as a human. And it's just, like, an easy way to, like, build in character development. It's really telling that we didn't get Angel's flashback in this season, so that when season 3 is the Angel season, you know that's going to be a big part of it. It's an easy way to be like, we have to explore these characters' backstories and we have to get them to unload their baggage, or else there's no way for redemption, right? Seems to be the case. And I thought that deepened Sir Pentious' character, who's a very one-note character in season 1 for the most part.
Yeah.
The Alistair stuff, the things we learn about Alistair in this season are fascinating. A, the fact that he's in a contract. B, the idea that I know I'm going to hell, so I'm going to start trying to contact hell ahead of time to, like, set myself up. That's metal as hell, you know? That's cool shit.
It is pretty crazy.
You know, game recognized game. That's awesome. Like, that's such a cool concept.
Yeah, I should probably be doing that. Like, I should probably get on that.
No. We're good. We're good people. We promise. But if I was a serial killer, maybe I'd spend some time thinking about it. It feels like a Chainsaw Man concept. Like, I like it a lot.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's that specifically was a very fun detail. And yeah, it's also like illuminating of this character. I don't know. Alistair, do you feel like Alistair's the real main character? Because that's the one everyone likes, and he gets the most of it. They're more precious with his like his story plot lines. I'm just making
He feels
joke.
Precious is a good. No, does not feel the main character at all to me, but he does feel the character that they are the most intentional with. Like, setting him up to have a rival with Lucifer, setting him up to be the contract holder of Husk, to be manipulating Charlie, to, like the payoff of the small favor. It feels like they always, if Alistair's in a scene, they're working towards something, and he feels very important in a way that I thought a character like Sarah was, and then didn't seem to be. Certainly in comparison to the other overlords who like fling back and forth and are like easily manipulated. I know that like Carmella does not get as much attention as Alistair, for instance. Like Carmella's just like,
right,
I'll work for anybody, fuck it. Like just back and forth. And I know she has her stuff with Vaggie, but that's very much in the back burner for this season. They have their cool song in the first season, but this season it's just like, no, I'm going to work for Vox because I can be swayed really easily. But what
he's
about
so
your
convincing,
daughters?
Sam.
He's so not.
Listen,
that's the problem.
Did you like? Okay, you got to admit, you did it. You actually did say this. Actually, it was when he does the cultural appropriation bit. That was really funny.
Maramba's like abandoning the Maramba number in his I'm flipping through the different styles of music song.
Yeah.
It's probably the funniest joke of the season. It's a good bit.
It is good. I think that yeah, like I just like him, man.
When you take up 70% of a season, you better have the best joke of the season is all I'm going to say.
That's fair. I do just really like, and this really could be like, I'm curious what you think of like how much you think it is due to like taste in terms of like just liking classic musical songs.
Mm-hmm.
Like to me, I don't know a lot of musicals as much as I know a lot of villain songs for musicals, and like man, once we get up there, just like.
Oh, villain songs are normally the most fun.
Right
and
out
also,
the gate.
once we get up there, that's the one where he's talking about. That's the backstory song, right? That's the V song.
It's the first song. That's You're talking about Brighter. Brighter, I think, is the one.
I like Brighter.
Brighter.
Of all of them, I like Brighter the most of the Vox songs.
That's kind of crazy because I didn't like it compared to all the other ones, which is crazy. It's popular. I think I'm maybe like a little bit in the minority on that one, but I love Once We Get Up There, and I love Vox Populi, the people's voice, manifest destiny. As long as you invest in me. All right, don't worry.
Every time I hear Vox Populi, I
Mallory
think of
remembers
Bioshock
lyrics.
Infinite, and that's a complicated thought. So I'm just going to throw that out there.
It's just good when he says, "It's not what heaven is; it's what it could be." Come on, like you gotta be like, I don't know. I'm stupid, but I like this guy, man. I'm all about it. I like his silly little dances.
You're just gonna talk yourself out of a season you like. So like
I won. I'm gonna ramble about how much I like all these songs. But yeah, I feel like there's not much of nuance to say other than I like musical songs. The Brighter one, I like where it is placed and everything. I think the only thing, it might have been like the vocals of it that I just wasn't like super into. I also just felt like the idea of this guy who killed a bunch of other people who were on TV, obviously is being depicted in a very cartoony fashion. Like he didn't
I like how goofy it is.
Do a dance move and throw a knife to them when like the camera pans away, but like. It did kind of like stretch credibility to be to the point of like, okay, everyone in his network just happened to die, and no one, it's just not the way to like.
It's the Hazbin Hotel version of Perfect Blue. I'm here for it. I like.
It's pretty funny.
The part I don't like. There's some funny commentary there in the beginning, right? Of like he works his way up from like weatherman to anchor on the local news to anchor on a big news station. To late night host because late night starts eating into the attention of the news, and then it makes a weird turn where there's nowhere for him to go from late night host. So then it's like, I'm mad about
cult
this.
Leader.
Yeah, cult. Well, I know he's going to work his way towards cult leader, but there's still a couple more stages, and one of them's like, I'm annoyed by like the Crocodile Dundee guy who's having one segment on this show. It's like, why? Like, what's wrong with that guy?
No, Sam, it was to set up the shark pet that he has.
I know it's setting up the shark pet, but that's the problem. Is I can feel them setting up the shark pet.
No, it is. It's pretty silly. It's pretty funny. And then he has the cooking. After that, there's a cooking one, and it's there to. It's to justify the Crocodile Dundee. That's the only reason why that is there. I'll tell you right there. It's really funny. It's just cartoonish. I think it's fine though. I'm just slipped up in the cartoon. Like it does not ruin anything for me. The other thing, and this is where I'm so curious to hear what you hear about my opinion. This opinion is stupid and not justified in anything. But my belief, and I feel this really strongly, changed my mind, is I believe that you are allowed one character with heterochromia in any show.
I like that rule.
And Angel Dust also has like heterochromia that like really obviously. Vox's was a little bit more subtle. So the reveal that his real life counterpart had heterochromia has made me really dread when Angel's real life counterpart also has heterochromia. Now, I don't want to be heterochromicist about this, but I just think that you get one, okay?
Mallory hates huskies.
That's the rule. I don't know what huskies is.
It's a
is
dog
that
that has
real life
heterochromia
person?
commonly.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's just me. This is me just being super precious with Angel Dust and being like, no, he's the one who gets heterochromia.
He's gonna be
Vox
my special little boy, Vox.
He's my special little boy. He's
Vivy
the
Pop.
only. He was chosen.
Vizzy
His his eyes are the only thing hetero about him. Okay, this is Sam.
Let me tell
did you
ya.
know that Vox is Sam? Did you know that Vox is bisexual?
Like, does he need
This
to be? This isn't me
there's
going,
a really
why are characters gay? But, like, does that add anything to the character? Does it come up? I know he's with Valentino, but, like, oh, yeah.
There's a really good meme where it's like he's only been shown being attracted to men, and there's a really good meme that just shows him being like coming out to people, be like, guys, I'm bi, and they're like, you like women? Like, they're just like, what are you talking about? And it's really funny. Yeah, I don't know. Part of me, can we jump into like the meta aspect of the show
Let's
a little
do it.
bit?
I think we've covered the show properly, like quite a bit.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think somewhere in there, all of my gripes and all of my praises have been lumped in. I could go on for a very long time about
all of my
the
gripes,
songs, but
none of my praises. Hey, it was a fun time. Let me just get that out there.
The meta element of the show, like, I sent you a clip before we started watching, which was it's been uploaded to YouTube, the Hell's Greatest Dad, like, Broadway performance. The rest of there's like a Broadway kind of like live performance they did of like a couple season 2 songs. They got Gravity on there. It's really good. Yeah, I know, it's amazing. But they have like a couple season 2 previews, but it's mostly season 1 songs because it was obviously filmed before the season came out. But that's on Amazon Prime right now. If people are checking it out, definitely worth a watch. I think just to see like the cosplayers, like a theater full of cosplayers, which yes, they moved the cosplayers to the front to like look better or whatever, but like
sure,
that they're very
a lot of
passionate
people
fans
loving,
with amazing costumes. Yeah.
I saw a lot of people with a lot of passion for Hazbin Hotel, and I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum. I love all kinds of stuff, and fandom is sadly very important to me. Right? It is not not the style of fandom necessarily that Hazbin Hotel has. Like, I don't make OCs and I don't make fan art or what have you, but I run a YouTube channel about talking about shit I like. Like, I'm 20% of my brain right now still on Silk Song, you know? We're still on Skong Watch forevermore. It's a good... people need stuff like this, and I am a big proponent of the power of fiction and the power of inspiration through art, right? And I think that it's weird that we're getting into a zone where a lot of people think that's gay and boring. Fuck those people, right? I love passion, and I love people's passion in things, even if it's things that I don't necessarily click with.
Yeah, no, totally. And I think that's the thing ultimately about this series is I'm like, it's doing a lot. It has some missteps. But it is just so much. And I think we were joking before the podcast. It was like you could call parts of the series overcooked. You could call parts of the series undercooked. One thing you cannot say is that they were not cooking. They really baked the shit out of this thing. There's a lot of stuff in there, and I think that like it just shows in. It's more than the sum of its parts, and like seeing the fan for me was very healing. As again, like talking about like algorithms and negativity and the fucking doom state of our real world. It's like seeing all these people like dress up all the way. I think there's something about watching like the Lucifer voice actor walk down and like seeing the voice actors get that into it. Like you come like the fact they all have like their sparkly shiny suits that are the correct color for their characters. Right. Like. Alistair's VA has the little creepy like red circle sunglasses, like and like seeing the Lucifer voice actor like walk down the aisle, and like when he's like gesturing and he takes the microphone away from his mouth for like lines like that he knows like the background like all the fans are gonna yell. So like thank you sir, like he poses because he's ready for everyone to say thank you sir, right. And they do. You see everyone, like, it's not just that they were cosplaying, it's like they're acting, like, the cosplayers were acting, like, really, like, they're posing in the right way.
Everyone's into it, everyone knows exactly what the assignment is, and everyone's having a great time. And that is important. People need to be able to have fun. And Another
thing I saw... Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I know that there's been, like, the just let people enjoy things crowd and the anti just let people enjoy things crowd. And I would like to advocate for quality, and I would like to advocate for like things can be better than they are, what have you. And I'm not me having complaints about the plot of Hazbin Hotel, or you having complaints about the plot of Hazbin Hotel, or people having complaints about representation and characters and this and that is okay and should be allowed.
Right.
The key word, though, is it has to be, like, respectful, right? You can't just...
Yeah.
It's stupid because you like it is not a good argument, right?
I know. As soon as I fucking opened YouTube after the season 2 finale aired, and there's just, like, this, like, big, long, like, hour 30 video essay, and the thumbnail is, like, Hazbin season 2 is bad, and then there's, like, an arrow pointing Charlie being dumb. I'm like... You're cringe. That's cringe. Even if you're doing it to make money, you're a cringe person. And if you're watching that video and agreeing with it, you're cringe. It's just like we got to be respectful with our critiques and all, but we are not bullying the show by any means. Like
right.
There's the standard for like a good critique of Hazbin is like very like low. But yeah, the last thing on the like audience in that like Broadway thing got really emotional because there's like this there's a part where the voice actresses for Charlie and Vaggie like fake like make out. They might have actually been making out, honestly, like the positioning of their heads, but they like, you know, they cover it with their heads or whatever, so we don't see it, but like they like fake making out like super hot and heavy, and then like the camera's on them, and then they wipe their like mouths or whatever, like sorry, you know, and they're like doing that, and then it's like, you know, after that part, that's like their fun like intro into like, you know, giving a little like pause and transition to keying up like the next performance, and like as they're like talking, like in between your heads you can see like these two like cosplayers, and they're just like this gay couple that they like notice themselves on the camera, and then they're just giving each other like a little kiss. Aww. And it made me really I'm gonna tear up thinking about it now. I was like, man, that's cool. I love DeviantArt. Like
man,
not gonna ruin my makeup.
I love DeviantArt. Hazbin Hotel season 2.
But what do we rate it out of 10, Sam? That's the more important thing. Now that I've cheated you off with that.
That's the worst tee up of all time. You can't set up this heartwarming story about like acceptance and finding found family and fiction and this and that, and then me go, it's a C. Like
mid.
What'd you say?
Mid. Yeah, it's like
mid.
I knew that would resonate with you too. This is perfectly calculated to get to try and crawl our way out of the C tier that season 1 got placed in.
Yeah, but the problem is I like season 1 better. I can't give season 2 a high score. I'm gonna put it right
got
next
high
to season
standards,
1,
everyone.
which is in the tier of this is good, but not personally resonating with Sam, which is a perfectly fine thing to do. There are many people on this earth who are not Sam, you know?
That is acceptable, and that's the best that we could have hoped for, Hazbin fans. Season 3, you know, let's hear it out. Maybe we'll get more Fall Out Boy songs on the soundtrack. Sam will love it, and maybe we can climb our way, just like the characters from Hazbin Hotel are climbing their way out of hell.
Chaos is a ladder, baby. Let's go.
You fucking creep. You're always doing that, and I hate it!
Sam, what are we gonna watch this week?
Mallory, you know, things happen, right, where you find yourself loving a piece of media unexpectedly. And also, do you do this thing where it's like, A becomes really popular, and you go, well, I'm not gonna watch A, because everyone's watching A. I think we've all been guilty of that at times, right? Like, I think you see, like, a show like Freerin, like, rocket in popularity, and you go, surely it can't be that good.
I mean, we watched Pluribus a couple weeks ago, and I was clear about that. I've never watched Breaking Bad. Like, that's the clearest, that is the biggest example of that you could probably have.
I've never watched The Wire, right? It's like, best TV show of all time. I'll be the judge of that by not judging it. There is an anime that I kept hearing people talk about for like 2.5 years straight, and I completely ignored it. And I left it off my radar, and I finally broke down I've been watching a lot of stuff because I've gotten off of social media, right? I've now replaced it with Pokemon Sea Glass, but Apothecary Diaries. It's long. This is a Sam being mean episode or pitch where I want you to watch 24 episodes of Apothecary Diaries because I have a lot of opinions about it. One of those, yeah, listen, I'm going to punish you with watching good show, all right? This is how the show works. This is how nobody leaves until we finish 24 episodes of a good show.
God. I wanted to watch the hamster dance.
The hamster dance is in 3 weeks. You know this. No. The fun part about binging a show is that suddenly your algorithm becomes like Apothecary Diaries Katy Perry edits for some reason. It's like what I'm getting a lot of in my shorts, and I'm like, all right.
Oh my God.
People are coming to the show for many different reasons. I'm coming to it for... I'll save it. I'll save it for next week, you know?
I'm very excited. I've watched a couple episodes, like one time in a ryokan with my friend. They were like, "Let's check this out," and I got like a brief glimpse. I'm curious. I know it's popular. I have students that like it as well. I've drawn an Apothecary Diaries birthday card before of the character Mao Mao. So yeah, Well, I'm curious to see how it ranks up to what I think. And yeah, we'll see how, the Broadway live performance of Apothecary Diaries goes.
Little teaser for next week. This is not the kind of show I usually get behind. And that's what I think is going to make it a fun conversation. As has clearly been the case in our conversation so far. I'm big plot brained, and I don't necessarily like Apothecary Diaries for the plot. So, we'll talk about it next week.
Next week. But until then, Sam, I hope you have a happy day in hell.
You took mine! Damn it! Have a good evening, Mallory. I got nothing else. I can't remember any of the song names because they all just washed over me and I forgot them all. Season 2, bad.
13, 14,
like
15, 16,
bad.
better, nicer, faster, quickly. Build a rocket and wear a hat and do a leathery hood. You can be good for good.
I will be bad and evil. I'm never getting out of hell. Let's go.
Who's been faithful since they won? With a punch of a pentagram, a wap-bop-boom, a yap-bop-bam. Usually I charge a sacrificial lamb, but you get the family right. It's not what heaven is. It's what it could be with new management in charge. Like you and me. Once we get up there and grab that angelic throne, our unholy trinity could make their realm our own. We'll pack up all their piety and redecorate. Bet our tower would look powerful with pearlier gates. Once we get up there, up to the promised land, 100 billion souls await our every command. We're the biggest fish in hell, how about we upgrade the bowl? It's time for growth, let's rule them both, take total control. Once we get up there, the shining kingdom of God. No more petty squabbles with the dead as we stroll the golden promenade. What's an overlord to a deity? They ain't got a prayer. It'll be so nice in paradise. With a splash of ice, they'll pay the price. We'll rule the sky from up on high. Once I get up there. Sam, you weren't listening to that. Okay, thank God.